This week, I'm picking up on a painting that just didn't work out last time. I was exploring new things, and honestly, it just felt too busy and I didn't connect with it at all. And even though I look at myself as an experienced painter, not every session flows. I used to think that my intuition would fix everything if I just kept going. But this is where I've learned the truth. Intuition is just the beginning, not the whole process. I wasn't even looking to see what wasn't working in this painting. But from an intuitive standpoint, it just felt off. So much so that I didn't need to sit down and think of ways to make it work. Instead, I just started to think about how I could use what was already there to create something new. And that's why I decided to make that large blue shape at the top. When I had only been painting for a few years, I would always try to stick with what I had and keep working intuitively and just hope that things would resolve itself. That used to be my go-to. But that's what used to keep me frustrated as well, because it usually didn't work out. So in the end, intuition might carry you through to a finished painting, but more often than not, you're going to find yourself in one of those stuck moments. No matter how many techniques I learned, I wasn't getting any better, and no amount of fancy materials made a difference either. So that's when I knew I needed a way to pause, to clearly see what was happening, and to figure out what I needed to change. I think many of us, myself included, believe that if we just learn to let go and paint freely, we'll succeed with our paintings. But I found that to be the furthest from the truth. I think awareness plays a big role in painting, even in expressive painting, because like everything in life, abstract painting is about balance. I guess I was lucky because I'm stubborn and I found my way in the end. A way of working that kind of supported me when I couldn't feel my way forward. And that gave me something to lean on. And it helped me pause and think a lot about what I was doing. Like, what am I trying to express here? And how can I shape this painting to match that feeling? That changed everything about my painting process. And it also changed how I looked at myself as an artist, because I went from thinking of myself as someone who wasn't talented enough to someone who could actually call herself an artist. If you've ever had a painting where you started out strong and then everything just fell apart, you know what I'm talking about. It's easy to think there's something wrong with you for messing things up, but those stuck moments are actually asking something of you. They're asking you to start noticing things, to respond. And even the smallest choice that you make right there in those moments, that's where your growth starts. Learning how to move forward in your paintings with clarity, that's the kinds of shift my students experience in my course. But that doesn't mean they stop honoring their intuition, because clarity and intuition create balance, and that's what I love teaching. If that speaks to you and you're tired of the large courses where you're just one of hundreds, there's more about my course in the description. Even though the last session I had with this painting didn't turn into something that I loved, it definitely taught me something about myself. I've realized that failure isn't about getting something wrong. It's actually part of how we learn. It's how we grow. So if you want to see how this painting ends up, I'll be continuing it next week, and I'd love to have you there. And if you're in one of those stuck phases, you can download my clarity checklist. It's a short list of 6 questions you can ask yourself to help you move forward with more trust and a little more ease. All right, thanks for sharing your time with me today, and I'll see you next time.